the cover art for the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's made by Blake Armstrong, the same guy that did the previous album, Fire and Charms as well. He's a long-time friend now. He did our comic book, if anybody knows about that one, The Jester's Curse. That's how we met him. He's just a fantastic artist, really. And Anders and him were talking about what they wanted to have as like the basic concept. And for me, it is, I think the struggle that Battles is about actually is right there in the picture. I kind of like it, like the two hands sort of lifting the skull, not splitting it, but it's kind of tearing it apart in a way. And it symbolizes the record for me. And I like it. I like the fact that it's slightly, old school sci-fi. I kind of like that because I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. I like the colors and everything in it. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
And sorry for the cut. And
no, it's okay.
well,
Okay.
what are I want to remember the audience who will see this interview and will listen this interview later. So your new album, so your last album, Battles, which had been released at last November. So what are the reactions from for your fans and the crowd, the audiences?
The reactions have been really good. In sort of what we expect. Some people really love it. Some people don't like it, and it's just the way it works. And we're happy with that. People show up at the shows, and I think that's the biggest receipt that you're doing something right. People are with you. They really enjoy hearing the new stuff live, and we love playing it live. So I think that's a really good combo. It's been good.
So Leelou?
Yeah, sorry. I have some question about the first song of the album, Drained. The lyrics are really dark, and the music too, and it's really like powerful, violent, and what are you talking about and about what, the society, love story, and why are you beginning this album with this song?
I think in the end, the overall concept is about the inner struggle. So it's not really physical like violence or combat or anything like that. It's just these small things that you go through every day. It could be anything practical you have to decide about. You don't want to make that decision. It could be something big, ethical or moral that you are struggling with internally. All these things. Maybe the struggle to fit in, and how much that would drain you because you're turning into somebody you're not, And I think in the end, this particular vocals is something that Anders would never exactly explain to you. That's the way he writes the lyrics. He sort of paints the picture. You put your own experiences in there, and you can, in one way or the other, relate to it. And that's why I like the way he's writing the lyrics and the way they turn out and what they mean to me. But I think the overall struggle is the concept, the theme of the album.
Yeah, and I want to ask you a question again about this album, because you made a quick tour because in the days at the end of this week, if I remember well, you will begin the European tour for this new album. But you made a quick tour at last January with Disturbed and Avenged Sevenfold. I think because Avenged Sevenfold has played last week 2 shows at Lille in Paris. So what is your experience with this tour with Avenged Sevenfold and Disturbed?
These are bands that we've known for many, many years. We've toured together. Well, not really toured, but we've played festivals and shows together in the past. Bands that we highly respect because they've been working their asses off for a very, very long time. When the question came if we wanted to open up for them in the UK, it's not a position that we normally are, in, because we do our own headline months and stuff. But having the opportunity to open up for these two bands in these huge arenas in a market that is kind of tough for us was a great opportunity. We were put in front of a lot of people that probably wouldn't, pick up an In Flames album or even go to a show, and we could show them what we're all about, how we sound, how much we love doing what we're doing. So that was a great opportunity, and we were treated really well. Lots of respect, and we had lots of time to get people into the venues. And, yeah, it was a good experience.
And Leelou?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have like a bad connection. Okay, can you talk about the two video clips? The two video clips, so the end and the truth. Like the connection about the two clips, and yeah, it's really really interesting about that.
Well, I think that the basic idea was to have, since we wanted to do two songs at the first sort of snippets that people could hear from the album, and they are slightly different. Well, I'd say they're very different, but they both sort of summarizes the record in a way. And since we're releasing both of those, we wanted the videos to connect. And well, basically, we like the first-person shooter aspect because it's something that engages you and it's full of action and full of speed. And then also sort of symbolizes the fact that you're not in control, which is kind of cool and interesting when you think about it, because you think you're the coolest dude ever when you're on the internet, but you're just very, very basic. You're actually very much controlled by media. So it's very interesting perspective, I'd say, to see from that side. And then you want to see the other side of it when it comes to the truth and whoever it is who is in control of you and what you could do to hopefully in the end break free. So yeah, it's sort of a full circle, and I kind of like that idea.
Okay.
I want to know, so after, because you release the album, so I want to come back at the album releasing. So what is the start point, the start point for this for this new album? So when came the idea to when came the idea to create and to compose and to write the lyrics or to write the melodies of this album precisely?
When
yeah, when
started writing, or where it came from, or what do you mean?
Well, so when you begin the studio, into the studio, the musical process and the writing and the musical process. So have you many ideas at the start of it came naturally during the musical process, the writing process, into the studio of this new album?
All right, so I'm kind of a lazy guy. When I write music, I almost need to have the studio time booked before, but we didn't really decide anything like that until we understood who we wanted to work with, and we were really happy when our management lined up all these great producers that we asked for, and we got to talk to all of them, and in the end we decided on working with Howard Benson. And when we started talking to him, he sort of helped us out with a lot of ideas, like how he would like to work and what his strengths are. He could help us filter what we do. He didn't want to change anything. He just want to make sure that we do the best In Flames record we could. And all these things really inspired, and we started writing and showing him the ideas, and he was filtering it, bouncing ideas off of him, and the process was fairly quick. And then we continued writing when we got to the studio. We started recording stuff, demos, and then continued writing almost all the way till the end of the recording, actually. So it was a really creative process, really, really. We got a lot of stuff done, and I'm really proud. We were supposed to do, in the beginning, 11 songs, then it turned into 12, and in the end we actually recorded 15. So very creative, very, yeah, we got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of stuff before the choice of these 11 songs. So was it not so hard to choose this song or not this song? So for this album, was it not so hard for you?
Yeah, Yeah, this is always troublesome. Normally we work around the songs that are supposed to be on the record, maybe one extra just in case. But we've always been of the opinion that you write, everything needs to be 100%. You can't write 35 songs and then pick 12, because then you would have wasted a lot of good ideas and maybe not come up with the best. So I rather work with exactly what's supposed to be on the record. And as soon as we have the demos and the first couple of ideas together, we try to listen to them and create a play order for the whole record. We don't do singles. We write an album, and then it's really up to the record label or whoever to decide what's going to be a single. Plus, it's about the record. And so when we listen to the demos, we look at the titles, we look at the lyrics, we sort of get a blueprint to get a feel for what's missing or what we have too much of, and then we start working around that. And it's a good way of doing it, and it keeps you focused, and you can sort of tick off the boxes when you feel like you have that one song, you have that idea already down. But for us, it helps out very much. Other bands are very different. I'm just saying this is our way of working.
So okay, thank you Arsen. And I just had the choice to choose. That's not so easy for this choice, because it's a little bit frustrating for this choice, and for the choice of this song. So thank you for the explanation. So Leelou, if you have a question for Björn.
Yeah, I have a little last question. Are you superstitious? Have you got something to do before going to stage?
So have you some Gregory of?
Yeah, I'm not.
Or like, I don't know. What?
No, I'm not superstitious at all. But it doesn't matter. You still have your butterflies. I want to make sure that I'm warmed up, that I play guitar like an hour, maybe 2 hours before I get on stage, because I know I'll sound the best, that I have, the most comfortable show. But still, I get nervous. I do that all the time. It's sort of what keeps me interested and keeps me on my toes, to make sure I don't mess up. So for me, it's important to be a little bit nervous. I never want to be too comfortable on stage, because that means I might be lazy, and lazy is not fair, because people are there to see you and you want to perform at your best. So for me, this is important, to be a little bit nervous. But superstitious, no.
And so this is my last question. And first of all, I want to thank you so much for your time, for answering our questions. And very honored and very humbled to have you in this this interview funnel. So thank you so much, Björn, for your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I want to ask you, it's a two quick question in one. And so let's remind that the audience who will see this interview, who will listen to this interview, that you will play in France, precisely at Strasbourg, La Laiterie, March 28th, at Paris at L'Alhambra, the next day, so the March 29th. So have you a message for the French fans, precisely because we are French media, so our rock. So don't hesitate to follow us on our Facebook page or our social networks. So have you a message for the French fans or the European fans, because you will begin your tour very, very soon, your European tour. So have you a message for them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is, for us, very exciting times. We have the album out. It's been out. We've done a little bit of touring, but we haven't reached mainland Europe yet. So this is super exciting. We're doing something which is very different from what we normally do. This are intimate shows. We're presenting some of our music in a very different way. So this is really exciting. I just want everybody to be able to hear it. So be quick, get your tickets, because it's going to be really fun.
So thank you so much, Björn. And see you maybe at Strasbourg or at Paris at the end of this month. So I like to remind March 28th at Strasbourg at La Laiterie, sorry, and at Paris the next day, so the March 29th at the Alhambra.
Yay!
Thank you so much, Björn. Yeah.
Thank you,
thank you for your time and have a nice evening. Du coup, on était avec Björn GELOTTE de In Flames. Donc du coup, je fais beaucoup de donc du coup, je te remercie énormément Leelou par rapport à ça.
Ouais. Bah écoute, c'était ma première, j'étais complètement paniquée, mais...
Ça se voyait, t'avais un peu les miquettes quand tu parlais au départ.
Oh mon dieu. Ouais, non, mais ça va. Ça va. De toute façon, on ne voyait pas, donc ça allait.
Mais ouais, ça va, c'est tranquille, t'inquiète pas, c'est easy.
Ok,